It's time to get your geek on with Dave Gramillion.
Ah, yes. Welcome here. I am Dave Gramillion. This is Get Your Geek On, powered by Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road near Loop 410 on the south side of San Antonio, where your gaming family wants to welcome you. Here we will talk Star Wars, Star Trek, DC, Marvel, video gaming, really all things geek that have dominated this little world of ours. You see, geek is not what it was 20 or 30 years ago. Geek is in. Geek is very in. Geek is now the mainstream, and we are here to talk the latest and greatest that is geek right here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This is Season 2, Episode 23, and tonight we are going to welcome a very special guest to the show. Last week we had Jerry Milani, the PR manager for Wizard World Comic Con, and we have ourselves a Comic Con celebrity that will be on. That will be Brian O'Halloran. Brian, we want to welcome you to Get Your Geek On.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, Brian, good to hear from you. How you doing up there?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here in Austin. Last time I think I was here was about 5 or 6 years ago, so it's good to be back.
Sad to say the breakfast tacos up there have not improved. I'm sorry for that. Coming from San Antonio, we do take pride in our Tex-Mex culture, and that includes the food. We poke a little fun at Austin on occasion. I'm sure, being from New York, you know how regional rivalries work.
Absolutely. If there's something that regional rivalries, you have the New York-Boston rivalry, you have pretty much New York-anybody rivalry usually goes on.
Yeah, down in Texas, it's pretty much the same way. Dallas doesn't like Houston, Houston doesn't like San Antonio doesn't like Austin, and Austin doesn't like anybody. So it works out well for everybody.
Right, but you all band together when someone messes with Texas.
Ain't that the truth? Outstanding. Alrighty, so Chasing Amy has turned officially 20 years old this year. Dogma is 18. Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back is 16 years old. And Clerks, where it all began, is now 23. Looking back on it all, did these films lead you where you think you wanted to go in the world of movie making?
It's funny when I hear it all in those type of age groups, it's almost as if they were children. And, do you think they turned out the way you wanted to? But you know what? It's a great, honor, and it was a great time to work with Kevin Smith making all those films. So it's awesome that these things still to this day are beloved by fans. And now that, when we were in our early 20s making these films, now we're in our 40s with kids who are old enough to actually now see these films. It is kind of cool seeing the kind of the legacy being passed on.
Did you ever, in your mind, most of these movies anyway, they're what they would call low budget films, small budget films. They're certainly not anything from the world of Michael Bay or what Disney is cranking out at Lucasfilm. Did you ever want to be on a big budget movie project, or are you very happy with these smaller projects?
I don't know, Dave. Would you like to be on like a big, serious satellite show that has millions of listeners? Of course, that's an amazing, simple answer. Would I love to be part of these new Star Wars movies that are coming out? Absolutely. Would I want to be part of something of the DC universe or something on the Marvel? Absolutely. Am I thankful that I have the careers that I have and that I continue to enjoy? Yeah. I made 3 films this year, which I'm really proud and anxious to have people see, and I look forward to seeing more. Now, whether or not there's somebody here in your listening area that it has some sort of pull to pull me into some of these type of films, I'd be more than happy to talk to them.
Well, now, speaking of those upcoming films, Jason said that the Jay and Silent Bob Get a Reboot script is quote-unquote amazing. Do you agree with that comment?
Well, I haven't read it yet, so I can't make that assessment. But when I read the Clerks 3 script that we were preparing to shoot last year, if it's in line with what Kevin wrote for that, it should be just as amazing.
Well, now, referencing a comment that you made yourself, you mentioned that we could see multiple members of the Hicks clan in this new film. There's Gil, Jim, Dante, Grant. I think it was those 4. How many of those do you think we're going to see in the new film?
Well, you know what? I would like to see at least 3 of them. I know for a fact that Dante makes a return in it, but I would love to see Grant and maybe Gil from Mallrats. Who knows?
Outstanding. I always liked Grant Hicks. I like how in Dogma in the beginning he's very straight-laced. He's an excellent reporter, and then by the end of it, of course, when Armageddon's upon him, well, not so much. He kind of loses that composure. Although I have to admit, if angels were raining bodies down all around me, I probably would as well.
Yeah, it was definitely Anchorman before Anchorman. That's for sure.
Well, that did escalate quickly.
Yes, it did.
Now, are you excited now that you're in Austin for Wizard World? You said it's been a while since you've been in, but are you kind of enjoying the sights of Austin before the fun begins tomorrow?
Well, I got into town about 3 hours ago, and so far I've been able to have some lunch here at the hotel. I will be having dinner tonight with some friends who live locally, so I look forward to taking in on some of the local cuisine again. The weather is so nice and warm down here compared to New York, so I would definitely see myself hanging out on the evenings during this entire weekend. That's for sure. That's
true. There's nothing like a Comic-Con in Central Texas in November. I think the planning there is brilliant. I love it. Now, this Comic-Con is just packed with local celebrities, with international celebrities. Jason Momoa is going to be there. Of course, you yourself are going to be there, and so is Jason Mewes is going to be there as well. Are y'all going to have a little sit-down backstage, say hi to each other, kind of, maybe reflect on some of those? We were talking about the movies that have turned 20 and 23 years old, and kind of look back, or are you planning on looking ahead to these new films?
Well, you know what? Jason directed his very first film earlier this year in England. That shot some of it in England and shot some of it in L.A. I was a part of that. And we've seen each other now on the, especially the Wizard World Comic-Con circuit now for the past couple of weeks. So seeing him again, I just saw him 3 weeks ago. I'll see him again. And also Michael Rooker will also be here this weekend, and he's well known in the View Askew world as Mr. Svenning from the Mallrats series. So it'll be nice seeing Michael again. He's also obviously Earl from Walking Dead. So Merrill rather. So it's really good to hang out with people that I've worked with in previous shows. So I'm a huge nerd and a huge geek at these things. So I'm a big fan. Momoa's going to be here. You got Rooker's going to be here. You have tons of people who are going to be here that I grew up watching them as well.
Well, that begs the question. With Val Kilmer's going to be there, Summer Glau's going to be there, John Heder, Holly Marie Combs, Charisma Carpenter, Nichelle Nichols will be there. My question to you is, if you could sit down, if you were the interviewer and you had 10 minutes to sit with any one of these celebrities, ask them whatever you want. It's you, them in a closed room. Who would you want to sit down with?
Well, I've talked to Nichelle before, and I've talked to Rooker before, so I haven't had a conversation with Val Kilmer. I would love to speak to Val.
That would an excellent choice. I think he would have so many great stories, going back to Real Genius, Top Gun, what it was like to wear the bat suit. I mean,
exactly.
It'd be a lot of fun to sit down with that guy. Let me ask you real quick here: is there any hope at all for Mallbrats?
Well, Mallbrats was a series that Kevin decided to make while location scouting for Clerks 3. And so when he decided to make it, he asked Universal Studios, who owns the rights to it, and they said, look, we don't want to do a straight-up sequel movie. We want you to, if you're going to do it, maybe propose a TV series. We wrote a 10-episode treatment, shopped it around to different television and streaming networks. As of right now, no one has greenlit the project, but a lot of projects on their first pitch usually don't get greenlit. So I have a funny feeling they're going to wait to see how the Jay and Silent Bob reboot does, and then it'll go from there, because then they'll be like, well, what other Kevin Smith properties do we have that we can use and utilize? And they'll probably, take a look again at Mallbrats. You never know.
So to quote the great Jim Carrey, you're saying there's a chance.
Yes, I am. I'm definitely saying there is a chance because, like I said, and people who make those decisions in the networks, that's usually a high turnover rate for those positions. So sometimes when you get someone who's in that position who's also a fan of the work, it's easier to get the green light than normal.
Now, first I want to thank you for taking the time out here to speak with us. We're speaking with Brian O'Halloran from Clerks, Dogma, a lot of Kevin Smith films. He's going to be appearing at Wizard World this weekend. You can see him up there in Austin. And if you could go back in time, you could watch yourself film a scene from any Kevin Smith film, whether you're in it or not. No interacting, you just sit back and you watch it happen. What scene from what movie would you want to see?
That's a tough one because there's so many great scenes that Kevin has put together in his films. I've always liked the Chasing Amy bar scene where they kind of reminisce of their emotional wounds, which kind of is an homage to Jaws. I've always enjoyed how Kevin shot that scene, and I'll always enjoy that.
Excellent. Okay. All right. Well, Brian, we want to thank you for taking the time to call in here on 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio. We look forward to seeing you this weekend. We're going to have to stop by and say hi.
Yes, please do, Dave. Tell your entire audience. I was down in San Antonio not that long ago last year, and it was a great city when I was there. It's great to be up here now in Austin, and please come on out to Wizard World. It starts tomorrow, 4 o'clock Friday, 10 a.m. on Saturday, and 10 a.m. again on Sunday. Q&A with myself and Jason Mewes is Saturday at 2 p.m. Come on down.
Excellent. Thank you, Brian. Have a good rest of the night.
You too, Dave. Thanks.
All right, so that was Brian O'Halloran, formerly of Clerks, of Chasing Amy, Dogma, so many Kevin Smith films. I mean, if you know Dante Hicks, I mean, you can automatically, all you have to do is just say the name, and you can picture him in your mind. You know who Dante is. That was wonderful to have him take some time out here and call into the show for us. Appreciate it. That was awesome. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and we want to make sure we get the rest of the show kind of clicking on all cylinders here. I am, as I said, Dave Gramillion. I do have everything I need here to get the show really rolling along. I've got my drink, I've got my lightsaber, I've got my back scratcher, I've got my sonic screwdriver. We're good to go. On my left to your right, now that we're going to start turning on the microphones around here, you will see he is our minion. He is the founder of the Star Wars Society of San Antonio. He is Peter Gonzalez.
Hello, how y'all doing today?
Hey,
What's
Minion.
going on?
What's going on, man?
Oh, lots. That was a great interview.
Wasn't that fun?
That was great. I kept wanting to say, "Are you supposed to be here today?"
I know. It's almost eerie. It's like you're not supposed to be here. Are you supposed to be here? You're supposed to be here. But yeah, he was here, and the Chasing Amy scene. I know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
that was a good scene. It was a good scene. Further to my left, your right, across the radio dial, we will now turn on his microphone as well. Hard to believe he kept quiet the whole time there. That was nice of him. Very professional. He is the man spinning the ones and zeros, our sound prognosticator. He is Goose.
Well, I am nothing if not professional, first of all. And for those of you listening, as our normal airtime of Saturday night, 11 p.m., we record the show on Thursdays. We kind of typically try to play it low key, but there was just no way around it tonight. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. We'll just it's Saturday. It's all sorts of fun. But if you do want to view us though, as we do the show, as we record it live, you can check that out on most Thursdays at 6 o'clock Central on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO Radio. Naturally, next week will be a little bit different because it's Turkey Day, so we'll be. I'll actually give Goose the day off there. I know it's real nice of me. I get it. Alrighty. So Goose, how you doing?
I'm all right.
All right, and so we're good to go here.
Are we going to talk about?
Oh yes, yeah.
We need to talk about that. About our geeky apparel.
Yes, we do because
with someone's odd man out today. Should we go and explain what's going on for our listeners at home, Goose?
Yes. So this weekend, in addition to going to Wizard World, we are going to watch Justice League. It is Justice League opening weekend this weekend. Absolutely. And so Minion and I decided, hey, we're going to dress up. We're going to wear Justice League themed attire.
Exactly. So, and you're wearing?
I am wearing one of my favorite shirts. Always be yourself, unless you can be
that's
Superman.
There we go.
And then always be
Superman.
That's better.
There we go.
And Minion, what are you rocking?
I'm wearing my Flash T-shirt and also have my Aquaman button. So yes, we've got about three members of the Justice League.
Flash, savior
Dave.
of the universe.
No.
Yes, I am
Just no.
wearing instead a T-shirt that I got. It is a South Park Dragon Ball Z mashup, courtesy of Ripped Apparel.
Oh, yeah.
RIPTapparel.com. If you use the promo code GYGO, you get 10% off at rippedapparel.com. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and slide along and let's talk some Marvel news here, shall we?
This is that sequel to the smash hit with no equal. This one's for the true fans with Hulk hands and action figures. Flying, dining.
Alrighty, this is brought to you by our good friends over at Laser Legend. Laser Legend is on the north side of San Antonio off of Loop 1604 and Lookout Road near I-35. I love this place. We've been talking about them for a long time now, almost since the beginning of the show, and it gets better every time we go out there. New games, new prizes. There's one in particular I'm aiming for. It's a chair cape. It's a cape that goes around your chair. So it looks like Superman and Batman are sitting right there in your chair. It looks really nice. They have great food deals. They have a photon torpedo that is to die for. They have various food specials going on out there. A 4,000 square foot video arcade, including the Walking Dead game, including Star Trek Pinball, Star Wars Battle Pod, and more. Plus, they have a 2-floor laser tag arena that I routinely dominate. Yes, indeed, I said it. And they have an indoor miniature golf course. You want to check out our friends over at Laser Legend.
Although Dave just calls it golf.
Yeah, So, Inhumans was much maligned before it came out, much maligned when it came out, and now that it finally had its season finale, it has officially laid an egg.
You mean series finale, right?
Yeah, we should pretty much call it the series finale because it's pretty much done. The finale pulled in a very sad 1.9 million viewers. I know it sounds like a lot, but it's a 0.5 in ratings from adults 18 to 49. 18 to 49, they got a 0.5. I mean, it's really just sad. As Deadline notes, the show went out on a very mixed bag. While it did retain 100% of the lead-in from Once Upon a Time in the target demo, and 81% of the lead-in audience overall, it's a rare example of holding power. But it also dragged down ABC's 2020 to some of the lowest ratings in history. So what does that mean? People who were watching Once Upon a Time before it, they stuck around to watch Inhumans, but they didn't stick around to watch 2020. They were pretty much done with ABC at that point. NBC's Dateline doubled 2020's ratings in this fall season, and they blame Inhumans. Yeah, Inhumans not good. Just not good. Goose, was it really that bad of a show?
I don't think it was. I think it was much maligned, one, because of the IMAX premiere. That did not do it any favors.
No, it didn't.
Because you're going in expecting an IMAX Marvel movie, and what you got was a television pilot, which, people just need to rein in their expectations sometimes. And also, for what it was for an experiment that was on broadcast television, which last time Marvel did anything in broadcast television,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Or Agent Carter.
Or Agent Carter, yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, Agent Carter was a known property from Captain America at the time.
Right.
And they also had Howard Stark, who was a known character at the time. This was actually the first time they introduced any of these Inhuman characters.
It just bombed.
That's not how Lockjaw teleports. So I honestly think if you go to Hulu or ABC.com and give it a shot, I honestly think you will enjoy it if you're a Marvel fan. If you're not a Marvel fan and you're not aware of these characters, then you may not enjoy it as much. But I think if you are a fan of the Inhumans and the MCU in general, I really recommend you giving Inhumans a chance on the on-demand platforms where it's available.
And it never really took off. It had an okay season premiere, but by that time the word of mouth had so affected it that it never really got a chance. It really didn't. Now the big question is this going to be it for Scott Buck? Scott Buck oversaw this series. He also oversaw the Immortal Iron Fist, which is pretty much universally, it's fair to say, it's just not good. It was certainly the weakest of the Defenders series. We're talking about Daredevil. We're talking about, of course, the Immortal Iron Fist. We're talking about Luke Cage. We're talking about Jessica Jones. This one did not work out. The Immortal Iron Fist was the weakest of the 4. Scott Buck oversaw that. This is strike 2 for Scott. And I don't know that Marvel's going to want to employ him any further going on this way.
So you're thinking Marvel's going to say the buck just stops?
Hey-oh.
Oh, who saw that
I think if he shows up again for another project, he's going to walk in and say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here."
So you're saying he's going to try to buck the system?
He's definitely going to try to buck the system. Wow, Goose is in rare form tonight, man. Good on you there. Oh, goodness.
I'd say something else, but I'm going to save that for the Facebook Live break.
Good on you there. Now, Inhumans Season 1 is now available for streaming on Hulu and various on-demand services. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. premieres on Friday, December 1st on ABC. It will take over the Friday night dead spot that
By the way,
they're going to vacate.
It's not
there.
just Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in space.
Oh. All right, Thor Ragnarok. Let me finish up here the last few minutes that we have. Thor Ragnarok has officially become the most profitable, highest grossing Thor movie of the trilogy that's out there. It officially passed on Thursday. It passed the $663 million mark, earning $223 million domestic, $440 overseas. It did have a big drop from week 1 to week 2. It actually dropped 53%.
Wow, that's a big drop.
From
man.
week 1 to week 2. Anything over 40 is considered to be, that's not good. Anything over 50, that's really not good. That's a big drop. And I think Marvel was really hoping for repeat viewings to save them, because once Justice League shows up, no one's going to want to watch Thor.
That's not exactly accurate. I wouldn't mind doing a double feature.
Well, you haven't already. I mean, I'm not a double feature, but you haven't gone back.
I haven't yet.
You didn't go back last week.
I have what's called limited funds. I work in radio, sir.
Very, very true. So it took 17 days for it to top $250 million, which is actually, that's some pretty good money as far as Marvel's concerned for a Thor movie. For 2017, as of now, domestically, it makes it the 9th highest grossing film of the year. It did pass Dunkirk. It has yet to pass Fate of the Furious. Logan is 7, then Despicable Me 3 is 6th. It made the top 5 highest grossing films in the United States.
It did?
It did.
It did? Oh, that's
yes,
awesome.
it did.
So the Fate of the Furious is outpacing a lot of movies.
It is. Fate of the Furious has grossed more than Thor Ragnarok, Dunkirk, Lego Batman Movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, Kong, Cars 3, War of the Planet of the Apes, and Transformers The Last Night.
Okay, geeks, this is where you need to come out and see Justice League, Star Wars, and everything else, because we can't have Fast and the Furious as the #1 movie here.
Well, it's not, thank goodness.
Thank God.
It is number 5. Spider-Man Homecoming made number 4.
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is number 3 by a long, long stretch. Wonder Woman is the second highest grossing film in the United States at $412 million.
Thank you.
And number 1, not even close, it blows everyone else away at $504 million is Beauty and the Beast.
Very good.
All right, that's still
Very
there as
good.
part of the genre.
Beauty and the Beast has just crushed it, absolutely crushed it this year. And that came out early. That was in March.
Yeah, that's a good movie, though.
It had a 4-month run from March 17th to July 13th and just crushed it. Now, the hope is that Justice League is going to be just gangbusters. And we're going to talk about that after the bottom of the hour news break. We're getting up against the clock.
So
here.
you know what happened with Beauty and the Beast, right?
What's that?
All the people who were kids in the 90s went to go see it to make sure it was kid appropriate, and then went to go take their kids.
And not only that, it's a total date movie. It's an absolute date
Total
movie.
date
You
movie.
take your girl out to go see Beauty and the Beast. And
Exactly.
that's exactly what it is.
Or a guy.
Now, there's only one movie. Justice League is not gonna top Beauty and the Beast. It's not.
We can hope.
It's not going to make $505 million at the box office domestically.
Look
It
here.
won't.
Look here.
It's not going to do it.
After Batman vs.
Nope.
Superman, it has
Nope.
the return of
Nope.
Superman.
Not going to happen. But there is one movie that can top $504 million at the box office, but it won't come out until December. It's The Last Jedi. The Last Jedi is just going to kill it domestically.
DC fans unite. Let's go make sure
It's
Justice
not-
League takes the #1 spot, and The Last Jedi does not
Oh,
prevail.
whatever.
Oh, the forces.
Make sure the Last Jedi is dead.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. The Force Awakens in 2015 grossed $936 million domestically. I'm thinking this is going to hit like 770, 775. So, yeah, it's going to blow Beauty and the Beast apart. There's just no question.
It's the Star Wars juggernaut.
Now, Justice League is going to gross a ton of money, a metric ton of money. We're going to talk about that and the rating coming up here after the bottom of the hour news break. Rotten Tomatoes did not release their scores until the day the movie came out.
My goodness.
Which is extraordinarily rare. I honestly cannot remember the last time that happened. I cannot remember the last time that happened. That's incredible. Metacritic came out with their rating earlier in the week. I think it was Tuesday or maybe early Wednesday when it came out. We're talking about the scores, the ratings, and it's not good. It's just not looking good for DC. Sorry, folks. So we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. Also, what is going on with Star Wars Battlefront 2? Are you kidding me? It's just crazy out there. We'll talk about it much more on 9:30 a.m. The Answer and 930amtheanswer.com. Welcome back from the bottom of the hour news break. This is Get Your Geek On 9:30 a.m. The Answer Talk Radio, powered by Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road near Loop 410 on the south side of San Antonio, where your gaming family wants to welcome you. I am Dave Gramillion, and if you missed the first half of the show, we had Brian O'Halloran call in from Wizard World in Austin, telling us what's going on up there, talking about Mall Brats possibilities, talking about Jay and Silent Bob get a reboot, and talking about all the fun and shenanigans that's going up in Austin this weekend at Wizard World. We are there ourselves, seeing pretty much everything that's going on, and there is a lot to see. There's so much to see, so many panels and Q&As, celebrities galore. It's Wizard World. I mean, what's not to love?
Yes, this is a fun weekend for us because on Friday we saw Justice League, and look for our spoiler-free review at facebook.com/GYGO Radio.
Alrighty, speaking of Justice League, let's go ahead and talk a little DCEU news here, shall we? This is brought to you by our friends over at Pro Defense Pest Control. Pro Defense Pest Control has been my pest control company even before I had the show. Moved into a new house and got them on board and just love them ever since. They use safe organic methods. They have misting systems for those mosquitoes. Just because the weather's changing doesn't mean the bugs are going away. They are going to try to get into your home. Keep them out with Pro Defense Pest Control. Alrighty, so Justice League, the long-awaited magnum opus for the DCEU. For those of y'all who are studying for the SAT, magnum opus means great work. They've been building to this since Man of Steel. This is essentially their Avengers movie. And apparently they were rather ashamed of it because they wouldn't let any reviews come out for the aggregators like Metacritic and Rotten Tomatoes until just this week. Usually these aggregators, they get the reviews well ahead of time. They're able to put together a good score and tell everyone what the critics think about it. Now, does that necessarily mean it's a good movie or a bad movie? No. But if it's almost universally loved or universally hated, the trend seems to go that way with the fans also. So here it comes. Now, the DCEU has not exactly had what we would call a stellar track record for films. Man of Steel was kinda, yeah. Okay. And then there was Batman Superman, and that was, God. Then we had Suicide Squad, and let's face it, when it came to Suicide Squad, there was only one real reason anybody was watching that film.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
And while Margot Robbie certainly did not disappoint as Harley Quinn, everybody else did. The movie bombed. It was universally not really despised, but everybody recognized there were some serious flaws with that movie, critics and fans alike.
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
So here comes Justice League, and this is the one the DCU's building.
You left one out.
Oh, that's right. Earlier this year, Wonder Woman came out, and that was the shining moment for the DCEU. I mean, that theme right there, that just pumps you up. That one was the finally moment. Everybody agrees that was a good movie. Finally, DCU hit it right. So here comes Justice League. And all of a sudden now there are no reviews to be found about it, no scores, no nothing, until this week. And Metacritic came out and it opened up at a 51 with Metacritic out of 100. In case someone's wondering, whoa, is it out of 51 out of 50? No, it's 51 out of 100. It tied with Valerian, the City of a Thousand Planets, which bombed at the box office. It has since dropped to 47 as of Thursday. It dropped an additional 4 points with Metacritic. The total number of critiques that came in so far were 44. And so far the critics, they're not really slamming the movie, but they're just not impressed either. 12 positive, 24 mixed reviews for Metacritic. What about Rotten Tomatoes? Rotten Tomatoes is, let's face it, it's the standard bearer, the gold standard for movie aggregate sites, right? So it opened up at a 40. 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. It has since dropped an additional 3 points to 37%. For those of y'all keeping score at home, Jigsaw got a 33. Murder on the Orient Express got 58. So there you go. Justice League can't hold a candle to Murder on the Orient Express.
I actually enjoyed that movie, to be honest with you.
I wanted to see that one. I just haven't gotten out there yet.
It's pretty good.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's really
good. Good news. But so far, not everyone's sold on Justice League. Now, does this mean that Justice League is going to bomb at the box office? No. Everybody and their mother is going to go see this film. Everybody's going to go see this film. The big question is, though, are they going to like the film enough to go want to see it again? We discussed how Thor Ragnarok is suffering from a lack of repeat viewings. What about Justice League?
Okay, well, from some of the reviews, non-spoiler, because I haven't seen it as of yet, some people actually did like it. The thing is, I feel it's a little rushed, and you could tell from what some people have said, and I've heard different reviews. Obviously, there's some scenes that were cut for time, and you'll probably get all this on the DVD extras and Blu-ray and everything. But overall, from some of the people that I've followed, they've actually liked it. So I'm kind of interested. I still want to sit down and watch this, and I think if anything, good popcorn movie or wings, depending on where you go for it to go see this at, or Taco Donna or whatever. But at the same time, it's like, it's the Justice League. This is what we've grown up with, and who wouldn't want to see the live-action version of Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, Flash, Superman, Another Summer on screen? Now,
here's the thing. IMDb is user ratings. Now, whether or not you say some of them are bots and some of them are employees of Warner Brothers who are, fluffing it or whatever, so far it's holding at a 7.9 out of 10. Again, that was from Thursday. I haven't had a chance to check it since.
Have you been one to do a Rotten Tomatoes fan review?
I have not, no.
I think we should do that. Both of us separately.
We may. That may be a pretty solid idea. Now, we went to go see the movie on Friday, and there's only one place we go to see our movies, and that's the Alamo Drafthouse. The Alamo Drafthouse is so much fun. They really make it a good viewing experience. They don't tolerate the shenanigans, first of all. Don't pull out your cell phone and start texting in the theater. Alamo Drafthouse will not have none of it. We go there. That is our exclusive home for watching movies over at Get Your Geek On. Now,
the remodeled theaters look really good with the
they're comfy
little
too.
Tables in between every other seat.
The chairs are nice too.
Those chairs are very nice. Oh my goodness,
food is awesome.
All right, so here's the question then. Let's call our shots here. The opening weekend is not yet complete. Box Office Mojo hasn't tabulated the results yet. So let's call our shot. Let's just do domestic. Domestic United States opening weekend box office. Minion, go.
I'd say, how did Thor do in the first week?
Thor did 121 million.
I think it can match it.
So you're going to say 121?
Yeah.
All right. So Goose says, I'm sorry, Minion says $121.
$121 million.
Well, I said 121. He said yes. So
okay.
I'd say about 125.
$125.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Million.
I want to see if you're paying attention.
$125 million.
$125 million.
Dollars. It's
million dollars.
It's in you pay in like thumbs up for Minion if you like Minion, and that's what I'm trying to get to do on the Facebook chat.
Goose, call your shot.
$130 million.
That was pretty much what I was going to call too. It was going to be 130. We both can't go 130, so I'm the host. So you pick another number.
150.
150 million? Are you nuts? Are you serious?
And that's just from me.
For the record, Guardians of the Galaxy did 146 million, and Beauty and the Beast led the way at 174 million.
Yeah, it's
opening
not going to be
weekend.
Beauty and the Beast. They're not
No,
gonna do that.
Wonder Woman
Good
did
Lord.
103 million. So he got beat by Spider-Man and by It and by Thor Ragnarok. Thor Ragnarok actually got beat by It on opening weekend by $1 million. It was close.
It's kind of impossible.
So here we go.
Gary Carr says 235 million. So you think
Opening
I'm crazy?
weekend?
That's what.
No, nobody's hitting. Not even The Last Jedi's going to hit that. Sorry, let me backtrack. There's no movie this year other than The Last Jedi that'll hit 235 million. So I'll stick with 130. You seriously think it'll hit 150 opening
Yes,
weekend?
I do.
Okay, all right. So let's get this down here. Minions got 121 million. 125. You call 125.
That's in domestic, right?
Domestic.
Right.
I called 130, and Goose is calling 150.
Well, I said 130, and you said pick another number.
You can pick 135 if you want. It doesn't matter to me.
I'm picking 150.
All right, he's going with 150. Okay, so there we go. We also want to hear your box office predictions. You can check that out at facebook.com/GYGO radio. Tell us what you think it's going to make. I don't think people are going to like the film all that much, but we'll see what happens. The reviews have not been
And
terribly
again,
kind.
for our spoiler-free review, which we did on Friday, the 17th at Alamo Drafthouse, make sure to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO radio.
The big question is, what if this is a dud? Another dud?
I don't think so because
A critical fan dud.
well,
Because Suicide Squad made a bunch of money, too.
well no, I don't think so because from the fan base that I watched through YouTube, some of the reviews, they've given it positive reviews.
Which is fine and dandy for some, but Suicide Squad, keep in mind, grossed 325 million domestic.
Well, to be fair, though, Suicide Squad didn't earn it. Suicide Squad stole it. And let's face it, that's only because...
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
It's Margot
That-
Robbie.
that's-
Come on.
that's
I wonder
pretty-
what the
pretty great.
drop-off was in week 2 of Suicide Squad.
As a matter of fact, give me 1 second here. I can look that up for
Because
you.
I'm sure
One.
that had to be 50-some-odd%.
All right, the drop off from week 1, where it grossed 133 million, to week 2, where it grossed 43 million. The drop off was 67%. That is a massive drop off.
Yes, it is.
It's tremendous, just tremendous drop off in of course, the worst possible way. I think if this is a dud going forward, though, this does not bode well for the Cyborg, Flash, Wonder Woman 2, which is now already in jeopardy anyway, thanks to Gal
Brett
Gadot
Ratner.
and Brett Ratner. So the big question is, is the DCEU in real trouble?
No, I don't think so. That's just my opinion.
They've said that the success of Justice League will pretty much determine whether or not Flashpoint gets made. And I'm not entirely sure which way they mean by that, because I can see if Justice League is a failure, them rushing to Flashpoint to fix everything, versus if Justice League does well, possibly hold off on Flashpoint to see how far they can go.
So, but man, I don't know. I'm just not convinced the DCEU doesn't go the way of Dark Universe, which Dark Universe, by the way, has officially collapsed.
Well, we saw that coming, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know yet. But you know what I do know?
What's that?
Takodana?
Star Wars Battlefront 2 did not do well, and
Really?
it's not. People are not having a lot of fun playing this game yet, and we're going to tell you why right now.
I'm looking forward to completing your training. In time, you will call me Master.
It's not often that we put two themes together like that, but because it's a Star Wars video game news, it only seemed fair to put those two together.
He made me do it.
But what we need to do, we need to
Yes.
get down to Southtown Games.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Southtown Games is one of our sponsors here, and I have to admit, every time I go in there, I'm blown away. They're down there on the south side of San Antonio, and every time I go in, there's so much merchandise and accessories and apparel and gear and really everything you need to start a game, enjoy a game, and take your game to the next level. So many tournaments going on there all the time, but it's the staff that has always impressed us. Yes, there's a lot going on down there, but you still get that personal touch from those guys down there. You still get that, hey, how are you doing? Are you looking for a new game? Are you trying to expand a different game? What are you trying to do here? So the big question has become, you walk into a place and can you find somebody who really knows what they're doing? Or are you going to find someone who will look at a game and read the back of the box with you? Because let's face it, we've all been there, whether it's, big box stores or whatever. It's annoying because it's like, I could have read the back of the box myself. I don't need you standing over my shoulder. These people know their games, and they want to help you learn and love games as well. That's Southtown Games on Pleasanton Road, south side San Antonio, near Loop 410. So, loot boxes, they're killing Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Really?
They're just killing it. All right, so what's a loot box? Because it's a video game, right? What's the deal? All right, so here's what you do. You spend real money to get a loot box in-game. Now, some loot boxes, they're cosmetic changes. You get different skins. Maybe you get Luke Skywalker, but you get Luke Skywalker from Return of the Jedi or A New Hope or Empire Strikes Back. Mm-hmm. Maybe you get the Han Solo blaster. Maybe you get the Han Solo blaster, but instead of it being an all-black color, maybe it's gold. Or maybe it's green or whatever. So you can get cosmetic changes. But in Battlefront 2, it's for heroes as well, like Vader, Palpatine, and Luke. If you want to unlock those, you got to spend money, which is not boding well for
So I have a question for you, as inspired by one of our Get Your Geek On memes that we put up occasionally at facebook.com/GYGO Radio. Is the High Ground DLC available in the loot box?
It would be if they were doing a lot of prequel content. I'm sure it would be. That's how you unlock the high ground. All right, so the issue isn't as simple as accusing EA, which Electronic Arts is the game maker, of expecting players to shell out extra cash to unlock the heroes. But what you do is you buy what they call crystals and use them to purchase loot boxes, which contain star cards. If you get duplicate star cards, then you can use those to get more credits. So it kind of feeds into itself, but you still have to pay money. Somebody actually did the math on this. This is coming from GameRant.com.
Oh, boy.
And GameRant says that you get roughly 275 credits per match of roughly 11 minutes, which means it takes you 40 hours of constant gameplay to unlock the pricier heroes. 40 hours of gameplay. That's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, in order to unlock some of these heroes that you want. You want to play as Vader. Of course you do, because you played as Vader in the first game. So of course you want to play him again. This announcement quickly became the most downvoted comment in Reddit history.
And we also what happened on the Orville when you get downvoted.
Yeah, we saw that. Yes, we did. It was the most downvoted in an hour, in 12 hours, in 24 hours, and then in history. People were not happy. It even led to death threats toward game developers. Now, look, people, I know people get upset and they take their gaming seriously, but nothing is ever worth a death threat. Not politics, not sports. Nothing is worth a death threat. That's just, it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid.
Well, one, it's illegal.
Well, that too. Now, it also caused EA to respond by reducing the amounts you needed by 75%. So thank God. Now all of a sudden, instead of needing 50,000 credits to unlock someone, it'd be like what, 15 or 10,000.
Well, now you need 10
it'd
hours
be cut down
instead of 40.
Exactly. However, in somewhat of a sneaky move, they also cut down what you got awarded for completing the challenges. So instead of those 275 credits, yeah, they cut that too.
What?
So now you can earn less to get, even though they dropped the cost, they also dropped how much you get out of it. Star Wars Gaming did the math, and they figured out that if you want to unlock all the content in Battlefront 2, you either pay $2,100 or 4,528 hours grinding away at the game. 4,528 hours.
So over 1,000 weeks of a 40-hour job, and at 52 weeks a year, that's about 20 years.
It's an incredibly long time. It's sad, really, that this is what it's come to, but unfortunately, it's what it's come to. Now, to give you an idea, there are a total of 168 hours in a week.
Yes. So do the math.
All right, so let's see here.
4528 divided by 168.
40, 45, 28 divided by 168 equals, it would take you 26.9. So call it 27 weeks.
6 months straight.
24
hours a day, 7 days a week.
24 hours a day, 7 day a week of playing Battlefront 2 in order to unlock all the content.
That's insane.
That is absolutely bonkers.
That is insane.
Well,
I can't believe it.
I wouldn't doubt, considering there were people who have camped out for like months on end just to see Attack of the Clones.
Hey, easy
Actually,
there.
Could be
know a
worse.
couple of those guys.
There's probably people who camped out weeks to see the Phantom Menace.
You could see the
I
Justice.
was one of them.
You could see Justice League 270 times for that amount of money.
So I bet those people who up front paid that kind of money or played that long just feel really dumb now.
Yeah, it's God. I knew microtransactions would be the death of gaming. I just didn't think it would come this quickly. I really didn't.
Microtransactions, I play a game on my iPad where they have microtransactions, and I have spent some money on that game. But if it's a genre or if it's a property that you really like, then okay. Not something I would do regularly enough, but
still, yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, just imagine though, for $2,100, you can get a really nice TV for that.
you can.
Get a car for that.
You could get a car for that. You absolutely could. You could get a very nice home theater system for $2,100. You can get, in fact, I'm looking it up right now.
What kind of furniture can that buy?
What kind of
Furniture? What kind of furniture
That could
can that
buy me a pretty decent basic multi-camera setup.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. So for $2,100, I'm looking at BestBuy.com now. You could get a 75-inch 4K Ultra Smart TV for $2,100.
Oh my goodness.
75-inch, or you can play, Star Wars Battlefront. Your choice, whichever.
You could buy all the Star Trek DVDs and Blu-rays that exist and have a lot of money left over.
Like 20 times over.
Hey,
when they first came out though, those were expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you could easily blow that by just going to like San Diego Comic-Con.
You could blow that going to Wizard World.
Yeah, no. Think about what you could get for that. In fact, you could get Felicity Jones's autograph once for that amount of money.
Pretty much.
I mean, that's
And how
incredible.
much-
But that doesn't include the photo op.
Oh, that's right. Photo ops extra.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry.
But
about
how
that.
much Taco Donna can that buy?
You could buy.
Oh man.
You could buy two 70-inch LG TVs, the 4K smart TVs. You could buy two of those.
On Tuesdays, that's 4,200 tacos from Taco Donna.
That's a lot of tacos from Taco Donna. Holy cow. So that's, needless to say, that's a lot of money. We got that from GameRant.com. Speaking of what you can buy with that amount of money,
Yes.
Black Friday notice has come out. Microsoft is discounting the Xbox One S 500 gigabyte model down to $189 with a free game.
Ooh.
That's going to be $10 cheaper than the Sony 1 terabyte PlayStation 4 Slim.
Nice.
And no game. They haven't said what the game is, though. I'm checking my notes here, and I'm not seeing it here. So let's see. So $2,100. Hold on. This is going to be fun. Divided by 189. So you could buy, for $2,100,
here we go.
you could buy 11 Microsoft Xbox One S 500 gigabyte models.
Oh my.
Or you could, play Battlefront.
And yes, $2,100 you could totally blow at ThinkGeek.
Well, you could just do what I do, like on Black Friday. I was like, I'm eating turkey sandwiches and watching some.
You know what I do on Black Friday? I sleep.
There
I
you
did
go.
retail for 15 years. I have no desire to deal with that
Absolutely.
nonsense.
It's a full contact sport.
Now, keep in mind also the Microsoft console does include a 4K Blu-ray player. The Sony does not.
No, just a regular Blu-ray.
So you're getting, for cheaper, you're getting the Xbox One S. You are getting a 500 gig instead of the terabyte. But you are getting the 4K Blu-ray, and you're getting a free game for $10 cheaper than what Sony has. I mean, that's
Nothing to sneeze at.
That's a pretty sweet deal. That's not too shabby at all. I haven't seen yet if Sony is going to do anything to try to match that or not. But if we hear anything, we'll certainly let you all know.
That's where the terabyte is there, kind of serve as the incentive.
Yeah, but there's not even a game though. I mean, I don't know if the extra space is that big a deal when it comes to you get a free game, and you spend less money and you get the 4K. Now you can
Some
watch.
people value different things.
Why?
I like storage.
Oh, I can make so many jokes about that. So that's where you sleep at night? You like storage? That's where you get this little storage?
I thought about it a few times.
I know. We could go in so many different places. All right. So also want to take a quick moment here to talk about our friends over at the Mailing Spot. They don't really get a proper commercial with us because the arrangement we have with them is they provide free shipping anywhere we want to go. But I do want to take a moment to talk about the Mailing Spot because they do good work up there. They're on Blanco and Huebner on the north side of San Antonio near 1604. They do our free shipping for us. They're very friendly, straightforward. They know their business, which is great. And now they're offering a deal for the holidays from now through January 1st. If you spend $30 to rent a box there, a little post office box from them, they will gift wrap your gifts for free.
Woohoo!
So all you do is just you drop off the gifts, you tell them where they get mailed out to, they will do the gift wrapping for you.
Nice.
Boom. Done. You don't have to worry about it. And if you're like me and you're all thumbs, I love my wife. That's why I get her to she does all the gift wrapping for us.
Who wraps her presents then?
Probably the Mailing Spot.
Okay.
That'll be it. They also have, I love this, they have a program set up to where you give them a little information, of course, name, address, phone number, all that. And you can drop off your children's letter to Santa for them there at the Mailing Spot, and they will get a reply from Santa.
You know, I never got a reply from Santa.
Well, you can now if you go to the Mailing
There
Spot.
you go, because I keep wanting to ask, where's that X-Wing that I wanted back when I was like in the second grade?
So your mail gets protected, your packages get protected because you have a secure box there. You get gift wrapping for your gifts, and you get a letter back to from Santa to your child, courtesy of the Mailing Spot.
There you go.
That's pretty sweet.
There you
pretty
go.
good for the holidays.
Oh my
there.
goodness.
So we only have a couple of minutes left here. And I do want to say we're coming up on the end of the year. We're starting to get there, and I'm looking forward to 2018. A lot of good movies going to come out, and we will complete our second year in June. So we still have a ways to go on our end as well. Starting to look ahead to the various Comic-Cons that we may be attending out there in the great country of the United States. If you have any suggestions for us, if you wanted to tell us, hey, come out to my Comic-Con, I'd love to have you all go out there. Drop us a line. You can tweet at us at GYGO_official. You can shoot me an email, Dave the host at getyourgeekon.org. You can leave us a comment on our Facebook page, facebook.com/GYGO radio. There are a number of ways to get in touch with us. And this is it. This is all we have for staff. So it's not like there's going to be some crony or flunky that's going to be reading this stuff. Well, that's true. Bob or Spock could. Bob or Spock, our Rancor and
Spock only reads the fascinating ones, though.
So you can tell us which ones to go out to, and we'll certainly take a look at. Of course, no promises, but we can take a look-see out there. We have a great time going to these Comic-Cons because that is where real geeks are, and you can see real geeks from any number of places, ages, types,
all genres,
backgrounds, all
genres.
Absolutely, and it's a pleasure to see all out there. So it's a lot of fun. All right, so for Goose, for Minion, and for myself, I do want to thank our sponsors, Southtown Games, Laser Legend, Pro Defense Pest Control, and the Mailing Spot. I want to thank you also for listening, being excellent to each other, and make sure to get your geek on every single day. Good night, everybody.